I think Marvel has spoiled us. De-aging techniques take years and millions of dollars. Flashback Anakin may look like a present-day Hayden Christensen, but it's really something one should let go of. I'm Gayfesh, and today we'll be talking Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 5. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Of course, spoilers. This is a short episode this week, going to credits at only 36 minutes and 26 seconds. I assume they're saving the big stuff for the finale, but this episode is pretty small in scope. The rebels on Jabiim are under siege by an absurdly small Imperial force considering there's a whole Star Destroyer in orbit, and the whole episode is framed by flashbacks to a duel Obi-Wan and Anakin had while he was still a Padawan. So far, this is my least favorite episode. And no, it's not because Hayden Christensen looks like he's the 40-year-old Padawan. That part doesn't bother me. What does bug me is the revelation that Reva has apparently been doing all this in order to get revenge against Anakin for Order 66 because she was a youngling when he carried it out. So that's why you do things even the other Inquisitors consider abhorrent? Because you're so good, you'll commit war crimes in order to get in a room with Vader? Yeah, okay. As I write this review, Deborah Chow is trending on Twitter, and I struggle to understand why. It certainly wasn't her direction in any of the battle scenes. There's a moment when Reva cuts through the outer door and rebels and stormtroopers start firing on each other in a wide open space, but we don't see a single rebel fall from gunfire until the stormtroopers are at point-blank range. Nobody even takes cover. I get the joke that stormtroopers have horrible aim, but if you're firing into a crowd, you're basically guaranteed to hit something. Obi-Wan's saber deflecting blaster bolts can only cover so much of the battlefield. Obi-Wan surrenders himself in order to talk to Reva, having sensed her motivation as one of revenge for Anakin killing her friends as a kid, and tells her that his surrender will be her opportunity to strike. The hangar bay doors have been closed by the compromised Lola, but that's okay. Leia crawls into a room full of wires, and this 10-year-old figures out how to override the doors and remove the restraining bolt from her droid. In a moment of utter stupidity, all of the rebels and refugees have been standing around outside the transport this whole time. Why would they not be loaded into the ship before the doors were opened? They'd be surrounded either way, but at least if they were in the ship, they'd have a quicker escape. Obi-Wan gets away from the stormtrooper guards before Vader arrives and boards the transport. Vader tries to force grab their ship, but it turns out they're all loaded in another ship behind the first one. Fake out shuttles making you think characters died. Where have I seen that before? While Vader stands there moping that Obi-Wan and the rebels got away in the backup shuttle, Reva strikes at him. The fight makes it clear that he's toying with her. He never even ignites his own saber, preferring to deflect her blows with the Force before stabbing her in the gut with her own saber. But don't worry, gut sabering isn't as fatal as it looks.
Somehow, the Grand Inquisitor returned.
He and Vader stand over her, gloating even as the rebels make their escape, and they pull an Obi-Wan, walking away instead of making sure she's dead. She sees a discarded communication disc in the sand and turns it on to see a message from Bail Organa saying he's headed to Tatooine to make sure Luke is taken care of if Obi-Wan never gets back to him. Gee, I wonder if Reva will succumb to her injuries or if she'll go after Luke. What did you think of the episode? Leave a comment down below.
When Tala sacrificed herself by using a thermal detonator, I had to Google her name to even remember it. R.I.P. I guess. Shame you didn't get more of a character.
Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to my Patreon to get shouted out in future videos. Check out my Bandcamp for banging tunes, including all the tracks you heard in this video. Follow me on Twitter @GayestFesh, and don't forget to check out my podcast, The Rest of Both Worlds, where I go through Star Trek The Next Generation with a friend who's never seen it. Thank you to all my patrons, with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Renee Vorbeck. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you all in the next video.